I'm sharing my Cookie Monster raw cookie dough recipe. Nom nom nom. It is super easy to make safe, raw, edible cookie dough. This one not only tastes delicious, I'll even share with you how you can do this completely no bake. Hello, I'm Roxy and welcome to my kitchen. If you're new here, my passion is helping you make sweet treats. Intro animation, because adults need sweet things too. I never eat off of a spoon when making cookies or cake because of the raw eggs and uncooked flour, because it's not safe. By the way, all of the recipe details are on rockstarBakes.com. I do this because if I learn something or I can make the recipe better, it's possible to change it on the blog, but not retroactively here in this video. I love this recipe because it has 7 base ingredients that most people have at home. The first being all-purpose flour. Alternatives on my blog. How to heat treat flour. I have 2 ways to heat treat and kill the bacteria in flour. Option 1, no bake option. Measure flour into a microwave safe bowl and heat for 1 minute. Check the temperature with a thermometer. And continue heating at 15-second intervals until it reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Let cool and it is ready to use. Option 2, the oven. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Line a small baking sheet. Add measured flour and bake for 10 minutes or until it reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Some parts of the flour will come out a little bit tanner, but that's fine. After it's cooked, set aside to cool. Toasting the flour gives it a little bit of a nutty flavor. While this is cooling, I usually try and measure out all of my other ingredients. I have it all prepped out here. If you don't have a brown sugar, no worries. You can substitute granulated white sugar. I use brown sugar for that subtle molasses flavor. To make the batter Cookie Monster blue, I mix blue food color into the milk to get an even distribution through the batter. Okay, I do have to tell you that I thought this was gonna be like a traditional food color paste, but it is not nearly as pigmented as what I'm used to. This was something new that I was trying. This is my tried and true. Let's get into it. In a large mixing bowl, I add the rest of the ingredients and cream until light and fluffy. Unsalted butter, salt, vanilla, which is optional, milk, any kind will do, granulated and/or brown sugar. So here's a question I get sometimes. Can you taste the vanilla in your cookie dough? I don't like it. So personally, I really like vanilla, but it's more of an enhancer than a hero in this recipe. Cream together the butter, salt, vanilla, milk, and both sugars until light and fluffy, about 2 minutes. I continue incorporating food color until I get this desired color. Here's what it looks like when it's creamed. Sift heat-treated flour to remove any large lumps. Fold the sifted flour into the wet ingredients with a whisk. I use a spatula to get out the flour multiple times, and then switch over to a spatula. This was my first time using color mill food color. I definitely add more to the recipe to get my desired color. But the color is all about preference. Use any additional milk minus colored to customize to your desired color. Mix, mix, mix. What are your favorite mix-ins for cookie dough? Let me know below. There are so many combos, but I am sticking to a cookie theme. Classic Oreos, chocolate chip cookies, Nilla wafers. Oreos, chocolate chip cookies, duh. Nilla wafers. Chocolate chips, sprinkles, and cereal are great too. Tip, if you want to use nonpareil sprinkles, awesome. I suggest putting them on top because adding them to the dough will cause the dough to streak. Nonpareil sprinkles versus Jimmy's. Here is the finished heat-treated cookie dough. The most low-key way is to keep these in mason jars, but I don't have mason jars. I have these jars. If you want a scooper style dough, I do demonstrate this in my live raw cookie dough class video. If you don't have one of these, but you do have a 1/4 cup measuring cup, that works too. Find the best side of the dough and make this the front. And decorate with candy eyeballs. Kind of on an angle because it's cute. A few cookies on top, mini golden Oreos, mini Nilla wafers, and cookie sprinkle icing wafers. There is something so inherently fun about sprinkles. They make just about anything an instant party. And they are so good in dough, but I wanted to keep this project cookie theme, so I thought, I'm gonna DM my friend Melissa, the sprinkle robot. She sent these to me. She made these by hand. I know there is a project where I'll use these milks too. So super cute. This dough would be so delicious on top or folded into ice cream. And I know this is wonderful as cake filling. I actually added some to my Cookie Monster shag cake. I have some frequently asked questions, FAQs. 1, can I make this dairy-free and gluten-free? I have allergies. Yes. I share alternatives and brands I like on rockstarbakes.com. 2, do you have any other flavor ideas? There are so many flavor combinations. I actually created this recipe because I wanted flexibility in flavor options, but then I had to make this Cookie Monster themed. If you're a sweet or a salty fan, go for it. Pretzels, chips, there are a lot of options. 3, how do you store this? Store in the fridge for up to 1 week and in the freezer for 2 months. It needs to be stored in an airtight container though. For best enjoyment, allow the dough to soften to room temperature before eating. 4, can I bake this dough and make cookies? So technically there are no raising agents in this dough, so it won't rise into a cookie, but I do have other wonderful recipes on my channel if you'd like to check those out. Cookie recipes. 5, how many portions does this recipe make? Makes this many. Whoa, MG. Cookie Monster raw cookie dough success. Nom 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 nom. Hit that bell notification and that like to get the latest videos. Coming up is a dessert idea playlist that I am always adding videos to. Thanks for hanging with me. So the happenings to me. I recently went someplace where I could pet sheep and goat and just had the best experience. Goat with horns, so cute. Anyways, I'll end the video with that. So cute.